Okay, folks, I'm going to give you a quick tutorial on a pseudo real life example of cost to serve. And this is a fictitious company, but you'll get the idea once we go through it. So here's your typical warehouse, 100,000 square feet, costs $7+ million to operate in a year. And in this fictitious company, we're going to say there's 4 items that they sell. Okay, now bear with me. You'll understand where I'm going with it. You've got a Gaylord box that takes up 42 cubic feet. One item, 42 cubic feet. You got a blank mug that takes up 1/20th of a cubic foot. Okay, very small item. And you've got a printed mug that takes up the same amount of space, but this printing is a value add that we had to build separate for the customer, and that costs money. Okay, but we're going to build that into the cost. And then we've got a water bottle that takes up 2 cubic feet. Okay, so you see where I'm going with this? They take up different sized footprints. They're going to share different costs depending on our cost per day. All right, so those are the 4 items we sell. Your typical warehouse is like this. It's got racks all over the place. It's got shipping. It's got battery changing area and office and what have you. Now, what I tell people to do is the cubic footprint I want is the inventory, where we're storing the inventory. Okay, that's the whole purpose of this, operation. And typically what's going to happen is you're going to find out it's the 80-20 rule. 20%, your top 20 items are going to take up about 80% of the cost. But we'll see how it goes. Maybe your inventory is not set up that way. So what I want to do is go over the cost in a little detail. We already mentioned it's a 100,000 square foot facility, 36 feet high ceiling. Okay, that's 3.6 million cubic feet. But the storage area where we hold the inventory takes up 2 million cubic feet. The operating budget, $7.2 million. That's $3.60 per cubic foot per day. Break it down, or per year. Break it down to the day, 1 penny. Okay, it costs your organization a penny a day per cubic foot. All right, so let's pretend the Gaylord, the water bottles and the mugs, we all spend $1. But we sell the Gaylord for $4, water bottle for $2, same with the mug. So the company thinks, oh, look at the Gaylords. It's $3 a profit. And if we didn't do this exercise of cost to serve, we would never know it's quite the contrary. Okay, that Gaylord takes up 42 cubic feet. That's 42 cents a day. What if we had 30 days of supply of inventory for all our items? That's $12.60 to hold that item for 30 days in your warehouse. You don't have a profit of $3. You've got a loss at $9.60. Okay? Now the water bottle, because it's 2 cubic feet times a penny a day, it's 2 cents a day, 60 cents to hold it for those 30 days. So $1 profit minus the 60 cents is 40 cents. Everyone with me? Now the plain Jane mug takes up 1/20th of a cubic foot. Okay, the daily, what is that? Half a penny, if that. So 30 days of supply, it's only 1.4 cents. You still make it 98.6 cents profit. But to put the design on, you had to buy ink machines. You had to pay extra labor, whatever it may be. Maybe you had coolers in there and furnaces and whatever else. But it was really, you're adding a penny a day, 30 days of supply, 30 cents. So $1 costs you, well, you really made 70-cent profit, 60 cents. Let me go back here. Okay, so you have to add this value add in, because I've been through it before in my career. Salespeople, they say yes, yes, yes to everything, but they don't bake these extra value adds into it. So think about that stuff. Are you putting something in a cooler? Are you putting something in a rework area like this? Are you putting it in a security cage area? Keep those things in mind when you go through this exercise. Okay. So my point being is, with these items, if we didn't go through this exercise, this business may go out of business because they're losing money on the Gaylords and they can't figure out why. All right. So this breaks it down. They're going to have to charge at least $12.60 to break even. All right. So hopefully you understood that. And the days of supply, what if the Gaylord were there 45 days and the water bottle was there 10 days? Okay. So the size of your product and the days of supply are key to this exercise. All right. So in summary, I want to go over a couple of things. This is not a new accounting method. It's a standalone system. You can tell your accountants that type of stuff. This is Excel. Okay. I'm converting it to a PDF and going to hand it back to you guys. Now, I don't want to give you the Excel because that's going to have my formulas in it for obviously reasons. I don't want that getting out to the public and, what have you. So again, you're going to need to give me the inventory dimensions, quantity, and price. We need the days of supply. If you have customer information, we're going to need to get that. And once you get the results, the big thing I want you to understand is don't eliminate the inventory or your customers that you're losing money. Just adjust the pricing. It's a tool to use to help your business. Okay. And share this with other departments to show them, hey, this rework area, it's costing us too much money. We're going to have to do something about it. Or maybe not. You just have to adjust the price. Okay. And again, like I said before, $100 to set it up. Okay. If I don't show you at least $400 in profit, I'd be shocked, or $400 in loss. Because think of it this way. You've got operations cost out there. We just need to put it into the items. And some of those items, you may end up losing money. And I'll show that to you. Okay. So hopefully this tutorial, I went under 10 minutes. It gives you a quick idea of how cost to serve works. And again, we can run 100, 200, 300, 3,000 items. As long as I get all the information from you, we'll make it happen. Okay, folks. Hope that helps. Thanks.